I'm struggling right now with a tough situation in my life. And I prayed to God and I said, Lord, I need joy in my life. And then I started repeating the scripture, the joy of the Lord is my strength. The joy of the Lord is my strength. And then I went to church and we had a guest pastor that was preaching that day. And his sermon was on Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 and 7. And if you watched a video of mine recently, I talked about that scripture as well, so check it out. That's also the screensaver on my phone. And the pastor proceeded to talk about joy. And I was like, wow, the Lord is speaking to me. I even purchased his book, the Joy Book. And then I went home, and on my way home, I was listening to a sermon from another pastor. And that was that same Sunday. So I was listening to it in part live. And at one part of his sermon, he started talking about joy and how joy is important to have in our lives. And I was like, okay, Lord, I know you're speaking again. Then when I got home that day, it was a Sunday, remember? I hadn't opened the mail from Saturday. It was still in the mailbox. So I got the mail out of the mailbox and I have received a letter from an organization that I donate to. And on the outside of the letter, it said, joy. And I was just like, God is just so good. I told him what I wanted, what I needed, and he was surrounding me with it. He was repeating the word joy to me as if to say, embrace it. It's a conscious thing. Joy doesn't just hop on you. You have to consciously embrace it. And so I was planning on recording this video last week and things got in the way and I didn't. So I'm recording it today after yesterday. I got a mail and it was from that same organization. And it was assigning me a new child because the other child that I had adopted, through their program was no longer getting services from their program. So I read the information and I was kind of still mourning the fact that the child that I had a relationship was no longer around. And something said, read this child's name again. And I did. And guess what the child's name is? Joy. I was like, OMG. And then on another part of the information they sent me, it says, discover joy's home. And when I read that, I was thinking joy needs to live inside of me. That's the home that joy needs to have. And then it says, get ready for new joy. The Lord is preparing me because the joy of the Lord is my strength. God continues to speak to me about joy. I was all set to post that video that you just saw yesterday. And then as I went to read my Bible study for the day, guess what it was about? Joy. Check out the video. It felt like the Lord was telling me joy is mine. And it made me think about the different ways God can speak about the same thing and how many times he can speak about it. There's no limit on God. There's no limit on how much he wants to confirm something with you. And I'm just so thankful that he is wanting to bring me joy. I just wanted to share this sweet story with you because it amazed me. Just that prayer for joy. And the Lord just keeps piling it on, letting me know joy is mine. The longer I take to release this video is the more opportunities God has to speak to me about joy. Yesterday, I was at the grocery store. I was walking past the flowers, and I thought to myself, I'm going to get a bouquet of flowers. So there was one bouquet that just spoke to me. I looked at it and it just was calling me. So I went over, I picked it up, and then I looked and I saw another bouquet that I said to myself, oh, that one looks really pretty. So I put down the one that spoke to me and I went to go get the other one. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Why don't you just get the bouquet that spoke to you? So I did, picked it up. I went to see the price and I looked at the name and it was Fields of Joy Bouquet. And I thought to myself, okay, Lord, you are speaking to me about joy. You gave me a bouquet of joy. You want me to experience joy, to live in joy. The joy of the Lord is my strength. But the other lesson in this is the fact that when we hear that still small voice, or when we get that prompting, we should follow it. Had I taken that other bouquet, I would have missed an opportunity for the Lord to speak to me. We may not understand why we're being drawn to something, but we should follow that prompting, that feeling. For me, it was nothing that made me nervous. It was like a feeling of peace. And I think when we follow that feeling of peace, we can never go wrong. So I'm so thankful that I decided to follow that voice and was able to receive this message from the Lord. I want to thank all of you for listening and to following this story of joy and how different ways the Lord speaks. It lifted my spirit and it confirmed that it is the joy of the Lord that is my strength. And the Lord wants me to have that joy. So thanks everyone for listening.